Well, I don't know if you know this or not by now. And I saw that post from Angel Reese or what I thought was Angel Reese or whatever I got told was Angel Reese about the white girl didn't want any of the fade or something like that. I thought it had to be a mistake. Somebody asked me about it and I said, no, surely to God she would not have even Angel Reese surely realizes not to repost something like that, right?
What if I told you that one social media post just exposed the biggest hypocrisy in professional sports? And it involves the WNBA's biggest star getting attacked while the league stays completely silent. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about a double standard so obvious, it's actually shocking they thought nobody would notice. I'm about to show you exactly how one TikTok share revealed everything wrong with modern professional sports, and why the silence from league officials is more telling than any statement they could make. Stick around, because what happens at the end of this story will blow your mind.
Hell, I guess I was wrong. I guess she did. And so now that I'm really starting to look into this, I'm like, God, not only is this real, but you've got media members that actually do try to hold the WNBA to some kind of responsibility. They're talking about there's no room for hate, this and that and the other one. And you got a player that's blatantly advocating for violence against far and away your most popular player. All right, and bringing race into the situation.
Here's what's really happening behind the scenes in the WNBA right now. We've got two of the league's biggest names, CaitlinClark, who's literally saving the WNBA from irrelevance, and Angel Reese, who just made a move that should have every fair-minded fan questioning what this league actually stands for. But this goes way deeper than just player drama. We're talking about selective enforcement, corporate hypocrisy, and a fan base that's starting to see through the performance. By the time I'm done breaking this down, you'll understand why this moment might be the tipping point that changes everything. And if you think accountability matters in sports, drop a fire emoji in the comments right now.
But this was put out right here. Again, hell, I thought it was fake originally. And I guess it's not. I mean, it's crazy. White girl running from the fade. There's Angel Reese right there. There's, of course, CaitlinClark doing the responsible thing, not wanting to tank her public relations. Like Angel Reese walking away after the take foul the other night, or the other day against the ChicagoSky.
So here's how this all started, and trust me, the details matter. During a ChicagoSky versus IndianaFever game, CaitlinClark committed what any basketball fan would recognize as a standard, physical, but completely legal foul on Angel Reese. Nothing dirty, nothing personal. Just regular playoff intensity basketball. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of escalating the situation or getting into some back and forth drama, Clark did something that apparently makes you a target in today's sports world. She walked away like a professional. What happened next is where this story gets really wild.
Gotta be fake. And I was like, nope, here's a video on TikTok right here. And that picture is in this video. And it was reposted by Angel Reese. And let me see if I have the ability there. I'm going to just turn that down because I don't want a copyright strike. But right there, there's the picture. And Angel Reese did, in fact, repost this on TikTok, it looks like. And share it.
Someone took that moment, clipped it, and posted it on TikTok with a caption that I can't even repeat here because of how problematic it is. But let's just say it painted Clark's mature response as weakness and added some seriously questionable racial undertones. Now, most people would scroll past something like that. Most professional athletes would ignore it completely. But Angel Reese, with her massive platform and millions of followers, decided to amplify it by sharing it to her story. No pushback, no context, no, hey, this isn't cool. Just a full endorsement of content that crossed every line of sportsmanship and professionalism.
And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Or are you kidding me? And the WNBA is going after and lecturing IndianaFever fans in this investigation? Are you trying to tell me Angel Reese is not going to get suspended for this, not going to get fined for this? Or is the WNBA too gutless to stand up against things like this, even if it is against a white woman.
And here's the part that should make every sports fan furious. CaitlinClark isn't just any player. She's literally the reason the WNBA is relevant right now. We're talking about someone who's brought record viewership, sold out arenas, and jersey sales that the league hasn't seen in decades. She's carrying this entire league on her shoulders, and instead of protection from targeted harassment, she's getting silence from the very organization that profits from her success. Think about that for a second. The person bringing the money gets attacked, and the league that needs the money says nothing.
Right here, Angel Reese cries about racism that never happened, then goes on and reposts openly racist TikToks. This is why the WNBA is a joke and not only allows but encourages racism against white people. Well, it takes a step further here, because my boy over at Outkick, Bobby Burack, who's a hell of a good journalist, did reach out to the WNBA. Right here, I asked the WNBA if they had a comment on Angel Reese's racist post on TikTok about CaitlinClark. The league had no comment, nor would it address Reese suggesting she wants to fight CaitlinClark.
Now, let me be clear about something. Angel Reese is undeniably talented. Her college career was legendary, and she's built an impressive brand around being authentic and confident. That deserves respect, and she's earned her place in this league. But with great influence comes great responsibility. When you have millions of followers hanging on your every post, what you choose to amplify matters. And choosing to boost content that turns a basketball play into a racial narrative? That's not empowerment. That's just irresponsible.
So much for, quote, zero tolerance for hate. You know, the WNBA is running an ad right now about, I think, the physicality of the league. And at some point, we just gotta ask the question: is this what Cathy Engelbert and the WNBA wanted? Is this what they wanted? Is all this drama, all this? I mean, I understand it's good for ratings. Maybe the commissioner's sitting back and she's secretly smiling about this or whatnot, but you're still targeting the fan base that's funding this whole thing in the IndianaFever.
So what did the WNBA do when one of their stars amplified racially charged content targeting their biggest draw? Absolutely nothing. Radio silence. The same league that launches investigations over fan behavior and fines coaches for criticizing referees suddenly couldn't find their voice. This is the same organization that positions itself as progressive and values-driven. They'll write essays about inclusivity and tolerance, but when it's time to actually enforce those values, crickets. The hypocrisy is so blatant it's almost impressive.
All right. They're the ones grabbing the ratings. They're the ones paying up for the tickets, even on the road. And I've got to wonder, are you going to start seeing more empty seats even at CaitlinClark games? Because I can tell you this, just from what I can gauge, a lot of Fever fans are already sort of fed up. All right, they're already sort of fed up, and you could hear it from the crowd.
Here's a thought experiment for you. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Picture CaitlinClark sharing content that mocked Angel Reese with racially charged language. Can you even imagine the fallout? We'd have wall-to-wall ESPN coverage, emergency press conferences, and probably congressional hearings. Sponsors would be running for the exits faster than you could say endorsement deal. And you know what? That response would be completely justified. Racial mockery has no place in professional sports, regardless of direction.
The crowd said that they, Cathy Engelbert came over and lectured the crowd prior to the game the other day. How about at Cathy Engelbert? Does she have any comment? If the at WNBA wants to be taken seriously, we should have transparency on these types of issues.
But apparently, accountability only flows one way in today's WNBA. When certain players cross the line, we get creative explanations about cultural context and empowerment. When others even breathe wrong, we get investigations and lectures. That's not progressive, that's just selective enforcement dressed up in social justice language. And here's what really gets me. CaitlinClark doesn't even engage with this drama. She shows up, drops 30 points, and goes home. She takes hard fouls without crying to the refs. She handles adversity with the composure of a 10-year veteran. That grace under pressure, that's apparently her biggest crime in the eyes of people who thrive on chaos.
The WNBA is officially having their Jussie Smollett Bubba Wallace hoax situation. Right here, right now. You're watching it. And there's other things going on like this being shared by Angel Reese. WNBA's turning a blind eye to it.
But the league's response, or lack thereof, sends a crystal clear message to everyone paying attention. Some players get held to one standard, others get a free pass. Some voices matter, others get ignored. And the fans, the ones actually funding this league with their ticket purchases and merchandise, they're getting lectured by Commissioner Kathy Engelbert about their tone, not their behavior, their tone. Because apparently being too enthusiastic about your favorite player is now a problem that needs addressing.
Do they not realize, look, if you want to be taken as a, number one, if you want to keep all these new fans around, and you want to be treated like a real sports league, you've got to start taking things like this seriously and quit worrying about going after somebody because they made a crack about Brittany Griner being arrested in Russia. Sports fans are going to go after Brittany Griner over that. They're going to heckle her over that. I heard that yesterday and was like, are you kidding me? Fact, Brittany Griner got arrested in Russia for cannabis oil, which is illegal in Russia. You expect sports fans to not literally heckle her with that during the game? Have you ever been to a Raiders game, an Eagles game? You got to be kidding me.
Meanwhile, there's an ongoing investigation into fan behavior based on accusations that are looking more baseless by the day. Fans who travel across the country and pack arenas are being treated like suspects, while players who amplify divisive content get protected. You don't need an NBA to see how backwards this is. The people writing the checks are getting scolded while the people causing the problems get shielded. Keep this up, and even CaitlinClark games will start having empty seats. That's how fast fan loyalty evaporates when you treat supporters like enemies.
Somebody, NBA Centel, which is a parody site, a satire site, shared a fake post about the WNBA banning booing. All right. At first glance, I saw it and was like, well, I can't believe it took them this long. And then I saw who posted it and was like, okay, good. But that just tells you it got a lot of people. That post, a lot of people thought it was real. Because at this point, we're expecting the WNBA to literally do something absurd like ban booing in a sports league.
Now, you want to know how ridiculous this has gotten? A satirical sports page posted a fake headline reading WNBA to ban booing, and thousands of people believed it was real. Not because fans are gullible, but because it sounds exactly like something this league would actually do. When your organization is so disconnected from reality that parody feels like journalism, you've got serious problems. The line between comedy and reality is so blurred that fans can't tell if they're watching a basketball game or a badly written sitcom.
Adam Silver, where are you? And we're turning into Scooby-Doo with you. Where are you exactly? Because it seems to me like the NBA and Adam Silver should get involved here. And be like, you do realize we've got Michael Jordan in the house right now.
And here's what the WNBA front office doesn't want to admit. This isn't just about public perception. It's about business. Corporate sponsors don't fund leagues that can't manage their own drama. TV networks don't pay big money for content that comes with constant controversy. Every time the league chooses selective enforcement over consistent standards, they're telling potential partners that they can't be trusted to manage their own product. If enough sponsors reach that conclusion, no amount of viral moments will save this league from collapse.
She brought all those fans in. What are you doing? Question mark. If you mess this up for these NBA owners that own these teams, and you mess this up with the media rights deal and all this other stuff, And our if you mess this up, Engelbert, you're out. You're fired.
Which brings us to Adam Silver. The NBA commissioner technically oversees the WNBA, and these franchises share ownership, branding, and facilities. When the Women's League creates chaos, it becomes an NBA problem too. If he doesn't step in now and demand consistent standards, when exactly is he planning to act? After the fan base completely fractures, after sponsors start dropping out, after Caitlin Clark decides she's had enough. The time for leadership was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Because here's the bottom line. Caitlin Clark didn't just bring her incredible skills to this league, she brought millions of new fans who had never watched women's basketball before. Those same fans are now watching the league treat their favorite player like a target while protecting the people attacking her. If that's the product you're selling, don't be surprised when people stop buying. WNBA, you can't have it both ways. You can't claim to stand for equality while enforcing rules selectively. You can't lecture fans about respect while allowing players to disrespect each other. You can't call yourself professional while acting like amateur hour. What's it going to be? Drop fairness matters in the comments if you think all players should be held to the same standard, regardless of who they are. And if this opened your eyes to what's really happening in the WNBA, smash that like button and subscribe for more sports truth that other channels won't touch.